Hey, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, doing another Innistrad block draft. We open Thalia again, or Thalia. I guess I don't know how her name's pronounced. We also have Tracker's Instincts, which is good. Nearheath Stalker, which is good. Crushing Vines is fine. Chant of Skissing, fine. Scorn Villager's pretty good. Stormbound Geist is very good. Ripper's fine. Scab, Seagraph. All these cards are actually pretty fine. The only one that I think is probably not good and limited is Curse and Shattered Perception. Probably Scorch the Fields too, I guess. So, plenty of playables in here. I think the choices are really going to be between Nearheath Stalker and like Stormbound Geist. I kind of want to take advantage of the Undying, and I think it's going to be Stormbound Geist. I just love this card, so I have no problem first picking that. Well, what better follow-up to a first pick Stormbound Geist than a second pick Stormbound Geist? I do not know. You know, this foil Faithless Looting is probably actually worth like a ticket or something. Um, Maybe more, I don't know. I dare not check it though. I'm afraid my computer would explode. Um, Stormbound Geist, Nearheath Stalker. Yeah, I think we just Stormbound Geist it up again. There was a Wolf Hunter's Quiver in there, but I think this guy's better. I'm trying to think what other color I would like to go with the most with these Stormbound Geists. I mean, it's probably white again, just because Blue-White Spirits is so nuts. But we'll have to see. Could also do blue-red. I did pass that Thalia. I mean, this Elgon Inquisitor is very good, though. Otherwise, the picks are really like Blood Feud, Wolf Hunter's Quiver, blue-green. I don't think I'm super into that. Um, so Inquisitor, Blood Feud, Quiver. This one's like a 2-for-1. Blue-red, blue-red aggro. How is that? Not sure how good that is. I mean, usually it's more like Burning Vengeance, but I don't know if that's the route I'm going to go with double Stormbound Geist. I think I am going to pick the Inquisitor here. Lifelink is pretty relevant, and he can hold down the ground real well. Um, well, what's our pick now? Could go with the Afflicted Deserter. Try and, I don't know, diversify. Just get good picks in a couple colors before we officially decide our second color. I don't think I'm super excited about Shriekgeist. If I got some Grip Tides and Grasp of Phantoms, he's pretty good, but otherwise I don't really know if I like him. I think Bone to Ash is probably fine. I mean, I am willing to go blue-red. If I do, I probably like the Afflicted Deserter the most. So I guess I'll pick that. Could have also picked the Dawn Treader Elk, which would help me to get towards Spider Spawning deck. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So now I can pick Loyal Cathar, which is good, or a Sea Kite, which I think I am going to pick. I think I'm going to pick the Sea Kite. I like this card a lot. It's very good. Loyal Cathar is 2 cards in 1, though. But double blue, double white would be pretty awkward, so I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, I think we'll go with the Sea Kite, which is a pretty awesome trick. A lot of the times. Wow. Wow. Was not expecting to see Tower Geist and a Stormbound Geist. Well, we have 2 Stormbound Geists already, which is kind of making me want to pick this Tower Geist. I'm still, as of yet, am undecided which one I like more. I mean, this one generates you an extra card, but this one lives twice. I think I almost like this one more just because it's cheaper. But this also feeds your graveyard too for like your zombies and stuff. Yeah, I should probably pick the Towergeist. If I get some makeshift maulers and scab Goliaths and stuff, that would be real good. But I am pleasantly surprised by that pack. That must have been a real deep pack. We're gonna pick the Inquisitor here, and I have no problem getting more of these guys and going blue-white. I like blue-white. I think it's very good. I think the Heretic is probably the best pick here. Interestingly enough, Saving Grasp is good if you have Fiend Hunter. So I should probably consider that, but I don't think I can pick that over the Heretic. Heretic's really good. This can actually do a lot against your spider spawning opponent and other opponents as well. Here, I'm pretty sure we're just going to take the Chant, which this is going to be good against us, but I guess not great, since Stormount guys, he'd have to do it twice to kill them. I'm going to take the Chant, which is not exciting removal, but removal nonetheless. We'll take Divination. Getting some late blue picks, which is really good. This card's fine. It's a trick. I guess we'll take Shriekgeist over Sanctuary Cat. And a really late Bone to Ash or a Haunted Fingraph. How likely is it that I'm playing Bone to Ash? I guess not super likely, but we'll take it. I don't know how likely it would be that I'd play Haunted Fingraph either. Might have been more likely. I guess I'm not sure. Okay, so pack number 2. We open Geistcatcher's Rig, which I think is the pick. It's a card that would be good against us, and I would love to have at my disposal to clear the way for my Stormbound Geists and all my other crazy flyers. So, yeah. Other notable pick is Claustrophobia, but I think I would rather have the Geistcatcher's Rig. He can pull a lot more weight. Cultist, Claustrophobia, and Smite are all fine, but I think we're going to go with the Rig. Okay, here I believe we're picking the Silent Departure. I don't think there's too much question about that. It's just the best card for us. Buys us some time to get our flyers online, or just our sweet ground units. Other notable picks in here, Think Twice, Elder Cathar, and Village Bellringer are probably all fine for this deck. Even Forbidden Alchemy without the flashback would be fine. But we're going to pick Silent Departure, which is just an awesome removal spell. Okay, here I believe we're going to pick the Bonds of Faith over the Lantern Spirit. Delver is not going to happen in this deck, I don't think. We have Double Break of Day, which I'm not even sure we're playing yet, and one of these. I mean, I guess we have a few, but definitely not enough. And I don't think we're actually playing all of them, so I don't think Delver's going to work out. Lantern Spirit's very good, and I would be happy to have him in the deck, but I'm not going to pick that over Bonds. Alright, well, we got a Sweet Spirit in Voiceless Spirit, so pretty sure we're just going to stay on flavor here. If we pick up a Battleground Geist, we're going to be looking real good. Okay, so here it's Dissipate or Silverchase Fox. I think I want the Fox. It's got more applications. Anti-enchantment is actually very good. Nice out against like Curse of Death's Hold too, in terms of rarity. Unruly Mob, how good is he in this deck? I mean, he's always fine, but I think I would rather have the... I think I'd rather have the Fox. Well, this is interesting. Feeling of Dread is actually very good for a deck like this. Rebuke is probably fine too. But I like the flashback of Feeling of Dread. So if I can get a developed board, this can really save my life. Stitch's Apprentice would be good if we'd picked up that Unruly Mob. It's probably fine with Undying Creatures as well. So Rebuke or Feeling of Dread, huh? It's not super likely that I'm getting that Feeling of Dread back. Rebuke is hard removal, but I like what Feeling of Dread does for tempo, which I think we still are. We're looking pretty quick. Not extremely fast, but reasonably fast. I think we'll go with the Sharpened Pitchfork here. It's pretty good with our double Elgod Inquisitor, Heretic. I feel like there was another human, but I can't find him now. I guess we don't. But we're only pack 2, so there's still a chance that we get some more useful stuff for it. Ooh, Assistant, Crab, Amulet. I like Deranged Assistant. I think it's good. Can get us to our 4 drops faster. And our rig. I mean, Crab is fine, holding down the fort, but I think Deranged Assistant is just more useful. This will let me pick up some more 4 and 5 drops in the last pack. Hopefully we can get like some Murder of Crows or Battleground Geist or something. Alright, well, I guess we just picked the Creepy Doll here. I mean, Shimmering Grotto would be fine, but it's probably not super likely that I'm going to splash. Creepy Doll is actually okay. For this deck, it's fine too, I think. I'll pick the Village Bell Ringer here. He's a good Horned Turtle for the deck. Alright, well, we'll get a Fortress Crab. I guess maybe I should pick up the Paraceline, Paracelini. I remember the comment about it. He said I have to say it like an Italian, so Paracelini. There, was that right? Here it is. We'll take it over the Fortress Crab. I'd like to have it for sideboard. I don't know how likely it would be that I main deck the Fortress Crab. This will give me an out for lands, so I guess I'll take that. Curse, more likely to kill me, probably. Another Ghost Quarter. Okay. Well, I can stop those lands. Alright, so we're moving on to the last pack here. Keep finding myself in blue-white, which is strange, but it is a good archetype. Wow. Okay, well, Civilized Scholar looked good, but we've got the Slayer of the Wicked, so I think I've got to... Yep, we're just going to slam the Slayer. Awesome card. Awesome first pick. Wow, okay. Stalker, still get a chance to pick up some, I don't know, any equipment for it. Otherwise, Blazing Torch looks real good. So Blazing Torch, Stalker. I feel like Stalker is more game breaking if we can pick up a Cleaver, Dagger, or I mean it's still early in pack 3 too, so I can have a chance to pick those up. And those are all fine on our flyers too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick up the Stalker over the Torch. Unusual as that is, we have a chance to pick up. I mean, Pitchfork's not super great with it, but there's plenty of other equipment that I would not mind having with him. And we could get lucky and get it, so I don't know. Chapel Geist. Although weird in the same deck as Stormbound Geist, I think is definitely good enough to pick here. So Chapel Geist it is. Scab Goliath as like a finisher, I think is probably fine. Unruly Mob's fine too, but I like the idea of getting a Scab Goliath, especially since we have the assistant, and stuff of ours is probably dying. This self-mills a little bit too, but as long as he's like the only one we run, really. I mean, I suppose we could probably get away with a Stitch Drake or a Makeshift Mauler too, but if you're not running a ton of these guys, they're fine to play. And you don't have to worry about having a ton of self-mill. So, Scab Glyth. Okay. Scarecrow is good against us. It's probably fine for us, too. Makes our opponent's blockers weaker. Spidery Grasp gets there against our flyers. Armored Scab is good. Not going to be playing this Victim, so that can't happen. It's really like Selfless Cathar, which I guess feeds this guy, but he's fine again with the flyers too, I guess. And he's a human. Scarecrow, Selfless Cathar, Exorcism. I guess we'll go with the Scarecrow. There's a chance I main deck it. Not super likely, but it's fine. Alright, so Grasp, Moon Heron, Lantern Spirit, and I think we want the Grasp. It's just good removal. Okay, here I believe we're just going to take Sensory Deprivation, which is fine for our deck. Gives us another cheap removal. This will let us pick and choose how we want to design our army here. Well, another Feeling of Dread I think would actually be fine. The Moment is very good though. I seem to always pass Moment of Heroism and regret it. It just really allows you to race well. This Feeling of Dread is very good. Tapping two guys is not irrelevant. I think I'd rather have the Moment. I'd rather have access to this against the super fast decks. I don't like seeing all those Scarecrows. That's going to be bad against us, but that's okay. Guess we'll take the Nevermore for sideboard. He's got some nuts card I can't deal with. Don't really have a ton of creatures I want to protect. Scab and what? Geist Catcher's Rig, really. It's not super great. I think we'll take the Armored Scab. That was going pretty late, too. Here we'll take Dissipate, which is actually a good, it's a fine spell. None of these are great, but I could see this having some sideboard application, maybe. I guess we'll take this. And a second to last pick, 5-drop that's on color. And a Cellar Door. Okay. Well, we ended up with some pretty good picks, so I can build something fine out of this, I'm sure. Okay, so this is what I've got built right now. I decided to run the Sharpened Pitchfork because I've got the Assistant, Stalker, Heretic, Double Inquisitor, and the Slayer. So I felt like that was enough humans. And even on flyers, it's nice to be able to give any of your guys first strike, really. Even the big dudes, trample first strike. That'd be pretty good. So I decided Sharpened Pitchfork was probably worthy of coming in. I decided to play the Stalker because I have the Bonds of Faith, and that's actually pretty good together, too. We've got decent removal, considering we're blue-white. We've got the Sensory Deprivation, a Departure, Feeling of Dread, Bonds, Chant, Slayer, and Grasp. And Geist Catcher's Rig. So, yeah, we actually have a ton of removal for blue-white. We have a ton of good sideboard options, too, actually. Nevermore, Double Ghost Quarter, Scarecrow, some counter spells, Paraselene, Break of Day, I guess, Tricks. I'm playing the Moment, because it's great for racing. Yeah, I mean, this deck looks good. I decided to play 16 lands, because I felt like 16 lands plus the Assistant should probably be enough for us to get there pretty consistently, but I guess I'm not sure. I mean, you could argue this is a 17 land deck, but I felt like I was going to get a little bit clumped, because we don't have like a ton of huge drops. We have the 2/6 drops, but we really like top out at 4, so I felt like we could probably get away with 16 lands, but I guess I don't know. I like the way this deck looks. We have a ton of flyers, so just a ton of like evasive guys in general. So we should be able to put pretty good pace on our opponents. Um, you know, if we get if we get right draws at least. You could also argue that I should be playing Shriekgeist over Silverchase Fox because we have the Grasp, so then it turns Grasp into like a hard removal spell. But I kind of like the idea of Grasp just taking away their draw instead, so I don't think that I want the Shriekgeist. Other than that, yeah, I think everything's pretty tight in the deck. Armored Scab is actually pretty good in this deck since he not only feeds the Goliath, but holds down the ground pretty well. Okay, I guess I'll see you round 1. We'll see how this goes.